Great. Well, fantastic. From listening, you know that everybody gets a song. So all right, Allie's on the show, folks. Wake up, Allie. I think we got a podcast to do. We've been in lockdown for 12 months and I bought 12 pairs of shoes, one for each month. Hey, Floridians. Thanks so much for tuning in. I have the wonderful, the fantastic, the talented, the hardworking, the dedicated Allie Jennings from Winnetka, Illinois on the program. Allie, how are you?
I'm so good, Peter. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obvious choice. We go back about 14 months. I think we've known each other.
Yes, we met right before the pandemic happened.
Oh my goodness. Truly, truly. All right. Well, thanks so much, Floridians, for tuning in. I want to get to Allie and we got to do plugs up top. That's just the way we do it. And then we have so much to talk about, but plugs up top. Allie, what can you drive all the listeners to check out that you're doing?
Yes, I would love to plug my podcast called P.S. I Love RomComs. It's a rom-com review podcast where me and my co-host Mia watch, rate, and relate rom-coms to our own lives. And it's weekly, and it comes out, and you can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts.
That's fantastic. What a great ad read too.
Oh, I have it memorized.
Do you have a favorite rom-com?
I do. Okay. So here's the thing, and this is controversial, but my favorite rom-com is Dirty Dancing. And some people go, that's too serious to be a rom-com. It's not funny enough. And that's one of the reasons why I like it so much, is because it not only takes
it sparks controversy.
It sparks controversy. Well, it does. It takes on romance. It takes on some laughter. It takes on class. It also takes on abortion rights. It's so much happens in this movie. It was like a $5 million budget movie.
Wow.
They were able to do so much with it. It was like a constant uphill battle, written and produced by two like badass women. I love it. I love it for many reasons, but Dirty Dancing.
I mean, and we all love Swayze, of course.
He's incredible. I mean, he was a professional ballet dancer when he was younger.
No kidding.
And so that's why he's such a good dancer in the movie, is because he is a dancer.
Oh, wow. I am told that is one of the few films made throughout the years that is shot through the female gaze. Would you agree?
Yes, Peter. Yes, you have hit the nail on the head. There are, and I think that's why they shoot this sex scene. Like, I've watched a lot of sex scenes because I watch a lot of rom-coms.
Hey, and me too. Just about every day, around 4 or 5 o'clock when I'm bored, I watch the short little sex
but the way that they shoot it is they have these like very long tracking shots of Patrick Swayze's body.
Oh, yeah.
And you usually see those kind of tracking shots for women. Like you see them in James Bond movies all the time, like these long panning up and down women's bodies.
Yeah.
But in Dirty Dancing, you see these long panning shots of Patrick Swayze.
R.I.P. the ghost. Is that what makes it a great rom-com to you? Or what is part of the formula that makes a great rom-com is that element of the female gaze?
Yes. Yeah. I think the fact that it was written by a woman, and it's about a woman. There are great rom-coms about men written by men, but this one is and it's based off of a true story, which I also think a lot of great rom-coms are based off of true stories as well. And the dancing is just so good. Choreographed by Kenny Ortega, director of High School Musical.
No kidding. Well, that's fantastic. Well, Allie Jennings, we first off, let's say this. At some point in this podcast, there's a very good chance that you will turn into your voice will be robotic, right? And that's just what the materials that we're working with, right? That's just,
Yeah.
here.
Peter, I'm a woman on a budget. And so I bought my podcasting mic on Amazon.
Wow.
And that the efficiency of shipping and the free shipping comes at the price of quality sometimes. And also Amazon workers getting, basic worker rights. It's there's a reason why this mic is so cheap. And maybe I will treat your guests to a fun little technical glitch. Fingers crossed.
Keep an ear out for that, listeners. Also, as we mentioned before, we know each other. We shot, we were in, what would you call it? A pilot? Would you call it an indie film? We were in a project together. January 2020, is that right?
Yes, right at the beginning of 2020.
And that was in Oklahoma. What did you think of Oklahoma? What were your takeaways from the project?
Yeah, what I think about Oklahoma, great pizza. I remember we got good pizza. There's a big bottle in the middle of nowhere. There's like a giant bottle that
off of Route 66,
Yeah, just lit up, and I was like, "What? Okay." Kind of flat. And really, the people I met were nice. All the people I met were nice.
I thought, you know what? I got the same sense in Oklahoma City as I did in Austin. It's a lot of like hungry people that are really interested in creating projects and doing a lot of work in the entertainment industry. They just, the center of it isn't there. The center of the entertainment industry just doesn't happen to be there. But yeah, really hardworking, great people. And Raleigh, who has been a guest on this program, brought us both there, was able to cast us. And I thought that was just an incredible excuse to visit Oklahoma City. It was super fun city.
Yes, it was so fun. I mean, like, that's one of the fun things about being an actor is that you get to travel to places where you're like, I would never go here otherwise, but like you get to go and see like different little like slices of life. Like I remember I one time went to this place called Fort Bragg, California, which I would have never gone to. Very small coastal town. Very fun, very cool.
Look at you! What a globetrotter you are!
I know,
Fort
all
Bragg,
over
to Oklahoma,
United States.
I did find Oklahoma, a little flat, but also sprawling. Like there's it's wide, it's vast, and I had a great time. But you grew up in Winnetka, Illinois. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Winnetka,
Illinois. Now, okay, what's happening in Winnetka, Illinois? What's happening in Winnetka, Illinois? What do we need to know?
Well, I mean, right now, like the real estate prices have gone down a little bit. I've heard that recently.
Are you one of those people that like check Zillow for?
It, Peter.
Really?
You know it. It's because I get off on it. I get off on the fact there's that SNL sketch, very funny, very accurate. Yeah. But it's like
What's the pleasure in that? Because I don't do that. But what's the pleasure?
It's being like I could afford a small home in my hometown if I wanted to. I don't. I'm an LA girl now. But like if I saved, I could own a home there. Just like knowing that like it's possible. Like it's possible to achieve the quote unquote American dream of owning a home.
Achieve the dream, 2.5 kids, a dog, and a cat. I have my guilty pleasure. Would you call that a guilty pleasure or just a regular pleasure?
No, it's guilty. There's like, it's like, what am I? It's not productive. I'm not doing,
You know what that is for me, it's grocery store sushi.
God, no. Because no, so that's like Russian roulette.
It really is because because I've got to, I don't know what it is, but it's my biggest guilty pleasure. And I feel like, sushi. Like this is great. This is great. Like I don't have it's what Zillow is to you and to others who share this. Grocery store sushi is to me. It's like it's already there. These are the reasons why I like it. It's there. It's ready, and it's mostly a courier for soy sauce.
Right?
It's like a forklift for soy sauce. And I don't have to have a whole night out and do a big rigmarole. It's like the sushi's there. I'm going to get 2 of these cartons with the fake green grass that, I discard. And then I'm going to eat this in my car, and I'm going to have
you don't even wait to get home. You're just like popping it in like popcorn.
Exactly. I've got a trunk full of sushi, or not trunk, a trunk full of a trunk full of groceries, and a lap full of sushi. And I'm just like, yeah, I've got to eat this in my car, because if there's a different feeling when I eat it in my living room. Like I don't eat grocery store sushi or Taco Bell or chain food in my living room. I feel like it's
shame. It's a
shame. Yeah, exactly. Well, a little bit of shame, but Kanye West had this quote years ago where he said, my house is too nice to play rap music in it. And I think my apartment is too nice, or I try and keep it to a level where I'm just like not introducing that. But my car,
keep that filth outside.
I'm trying to create a certain vibe in my living room. But the car knows no bounds. The car, if anyone's met me for 10 minutes, they know I keep a filthy car for a reason. All right. So anyhow, Winnetka, the housing prices are dropping, but how far outside how far outside of Chicago are we talking?
Yeah, it's Winnetka's a northern suburb of Chicago. It's about I'd say like 25 minutes out of Chicago. It's right on the lake. It's right on Lake Michigan.
Beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Really beautiful during the spring, summer, fall. During the winter, hold on to your fucking hats, because I remember walking to school and it being, because I was lucky. I lived really close to my high school.
Cool.
I remember walking to school and I remember feeling the boogers freeze in my nose, and my eyeballs would sting because they were slowly freezing as I walked to school.
No way. Oh my goodness. Miserable, but the summer makes up for it, right? That's what I hear in Illinois.
Summer's really beautiful. It's very humid. You get really sweaty, but it's very beautiful. Yes.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Well, I know a sweaty summer. In Florida, our summers are humid, but I'm not kidding you. In the afternoon, around 2:00, 10-minute rain shower, then that's it. Rains for 10 minutes, then move on. That's it. Isn't that insane?
That is insane.
That's pretty nuts. Though, and to get us through the summer, my hometown, Cape Coral, we have this big block party for the 4th of July where we shut down a bridge, and listeners have heard about it. And in speaking about the summer and speaking about big holidays, I want to go into our first segment. Boop 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 boop. Biggest holiday. That's my stinger for this. That's the music for you.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest holiday would be 4th of July in Winnetka. There were several things that would happen. There would be like a parade, which I got to be in one year. I drove like a little tiny car and I threw candy out. Yeah.
Like a little circus monkey? You got like a little tiny car?
Yes, exactly. It was a little tiny car and I had candy in it. And I would throw candy out to people, and we would have there would be, so the center of my town, there was this place called the Village Green, which is kind of like the central hub. And every 4th of July, there would be a race there where kids would race based on your age. And then you would, and then they would go up to adults on foot, like a foot race where you would just run down, because there was a slope of the Village Green, and you would just run down the slope Village Green. I never won, but I wanted to win.
Yeah, those are the questions. Did you ever win? And how badly were you injured?
Yes, that's so funny you bring that up, because there was one year where I was doing really well, and then I tripped very close to the finish line, and it was very that was traumatic. So
you guys get psyched for 4th of July too, just because it feels like, based on the way that you're describing Illinois, or the way that I've heard people who live close to Lake Michigan describe it, you're pretty much thawing out for those months, right? And you're excited to just be outside.
Yes.
So people get fireworks and stuff like that, or what?
Yes, we would have fireworks on the golf course, and like a little fun tradition is so everybody would set up their lawn chairs on the golf course, and then almost every year the side of the hill would catch on fire because the people who were doing the fireworks just were like either drunk or just like not capable.
Are you kidding me?
No, it was always very dangerous.
No.
And mosquitoes. Oh, they don't have mosquitoes. I live in LA now, and they don't really have mosquitoes here, but they do in Chicago. And I just remember getting eaten alive.
You know what? I've got a few mosquitoes that have found their way into my apartment. There's more mosquitoes that have been in my apartment than plates of Taco Bell and grocery store sushi. But yeah, lately mosquitoes have been getting into my apartment. I also live in LA, but I think it's because I'm from Florida, so I like to have like a lot of standing water around me to feel comfortable. So mosquitoes.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just have a drink of water and just spit it out on the floor. No, but literally I've had like 5 or 6 mosquitoes come in. They're not as common, but for the summer in Winnetka, they're pretty common. You'll get bit up or what?
Oh yeah, you'll get eaten alive. Like your legs will become like braille, just covered in little bites.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so very fun, very fun.
Miserable, aka miserable. We should also say Winnetka. That stands for something. Does it stand for something?
Yes, it means a beautiful place. In a language that I don't know what the language is, but I was told once on a field trip that it meant beautiful place. So
what's interesting is Orlando, where I used to live for about 4 or 5 years, that is quote unquote the city beautiful. That's what, it was coined as.
Wow.
And also, I believe Fort Lauderdale is considered they interchange or jumble up the words the same way. It's like, it's not a city beautiful, but city beautiful or something to that extent. So yeah, a lot of beautiful cities in America. I just, or they used to be, who knows? Wild stuff. Wild. And yeah, on Lake Michigan, were there any like boat parades or anything like that? You said you were so close to it.
Oh yeah, no boat parades. But there people would boat. Like sometimes people would boat. Lake Michigan is very cold though. Usually almost all year round. It's pretty frigid, and like during the summer, you'd even have to be brave during the summer to go into Lake Michigan, where you're like you have to kind of like psych yourself up because it's pretty glacial, but beautiful, but very beautiful, crystal clear.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful. Okay, now you mentioned you were part of a parade. Oftentimes we'll see celebrities on parade floats. We're gonna get into our next segment, celebs in town. These stingers they're copyrighted, so I'm paying people for these. All right, celebs in town. Who did everybody know? Like, who's the mayor, unofficially or officially, in Winnetka? Like, who are some of the people that you couldn't help but run into?
Cool. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I'll start off with like, and maybe these are just like celebrities to me, but it's like,
exactly.
There's a teacher who was literally a math teacher at our middle school for, I don't know, since the dawn of time. His name was Mr. Burgess, and everybody knew Mr. Burgess.
Yeah.
And he was always like at the book stall, which is our bookstore. And he was known of like, when if he felt like students weren't listening, he would take off his glasses and then in the middle of a sentence would just throw them on the ground.
His own glasses?
His own glasses. And then we would all be like, we'd be so scared.
Yeah. What, does he have a drawer full of glasses, or you could just start throwing glasses on the floor?
Maybe. I'm sure we were all like so terrified. And then afterwards he'd just open up a file cabinet full of glasses. But yes, definitely a Winnetka icon. And then this other celebrity I'm going to mention.
Well, hold on. For the teacher, did everyone know him just because he taught? Like, did he teach like your like older siblings or like your parents and stuff like that?
Yes, that was like the crazy thing is like he had taught not only siblings but also parents, and so he had just been around for that long that he had taught like generations of people. And he's like one of those teachers that he didn't have a family, but it always felt like he had so many students that his like students were his family.
Oh wow.
And he was the only math teacher I've ever had that got me excited about math. Every other teacher made me want to be like, what are we doing? Numbers, this is a waste of time. But he made me think math was cool and beautiful. And
there you have it. That's the secret to being a good teacher. Just have no family, abandon all social life, and you'll have a real effect on the kids. Single teacher, was he a babe? Was he dating? Like, did you see him in the grocery store or what?
He was pretty ancient by the time I had him as a teacher, but beautiful and hot in a mythical way and in a kind way.
Like a dragon.
Really like a dragon. Exactly. He has like a magical dragon who spouts math and algebra equations instead of fire.
I love it. I love the sound of that. Sounds like a cool guy. I mean, what grade was this?
This was 7th and 8th grade.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I was talking about this week, but there was a 3rd grade teacher that I remember. His name was Mr. Irwin. And I think I couldn't tell you what he taught, but here was the deal. 3rd grade teacher, he had one arm, loved to play the piano, knew everything there was to know about the Titanic, drove a Corvette, and may or may not have been inappropriate with students.
Oh my God.
I mean, if you've got a Florida teacher bingo chart, it's bingo. It's filled up on that guy. Mr. Irwin. And I had great teachers, but for some reason, I mean, obviously that guy sticks out. And I had some nice teachers, none of them, single math dragons like your guy. But this guy, he would play piano with one arm, and then I don't remember being taught anything from him. He just told us to sit down. And then one day this girl, Jennifer, comes in with some opinions on the Titanic.
Oh.
And he was like, no, you don't. Like, the opinion was that if the Titanic had just hit the iceberg straight on and kept going straight on towards it, it could have broken the iceberg and it wouldn't have sank because the Titanic hit the iceberg at an angle because they tried to get out of the way because it was too late, essentially, to get out of the way. And that just set him off, like red in the face, like he was playing angry piano. And just like
there was a piano in the classroom.
Yeah. This was
gosh.
Yeah. But just bizarre. I mean, he has a lasting effect on me, but not in a positive way. In just like, I maybe just don't want to drive a Corvette. I haven't met too many guys that drive Corvettes that I want to be friends with, to be honest. Or, are accused of pedophilia, etc. It's par for the course in Florida, but it's whatever. It's what it is. Terrible thing. But yeah, I remember that teacher.
Yeah, he sounds pretty unforgettable.
Pretty unforgettable. I wonder if he's still around. I imagine. Who knows? Hopefully he got found out. God. But anyhow, who is your other celeb in town?
Yeah. The other celeb in town is not a person, but a house.
I love it. All right, great.
There's a really famous house in our town because it is the Home Alone house where they filmed the Home Alone movies. Yes. Another fun fact about our town, and this is a real celebrity, but John Hughes filmed almost all of his movies in our town.
No way. Didn't he used to use the high school as like a campus? Like he would set up different classrooms as different for different departments. Wouldn't he do that?
Yes, he did that with Home Alone. He filmed the scene where the burglars flood the house in the pool where I learned how to swim.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so amazing.
Yeah.
So, where was that pool? What was that pool?
It was the pool. So our high school
It was a high school.
It's a high school pool. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So there are two like campuses for my high school in our town.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of other towns would send their kids to go to high school in my town, and I went to a high school of like 4,000 kids, and so we had like it was big, almost like a small college, and the freshman campus was abandoned for some time because there weren't enough kids to go to it, and that's when he filmed it. Was when that campus had been abandoned.
So they had separate campuses for different grade levels?
Yeah. So freshmen went to one campus, and then sophomore, juniors, and seniors went to another campus.
And that meant the freshmen never got to interact with any of the upperclassmen.
Like sometimes for activities, they'd have buses to shuttle back and forth between the two campuses, but no, it was, you were kind of isolated as a freshman.
And okay. And was there like a freshman pool and then an upperclassman pool, or there was just one pool?
No, there were two pools.
What? You had two pools? Which pool did you learn to swim in?
The freshman one I learned how to swim in. And then, so here's a fun fact about Illinois is, I don't know if this is because we have like an obesity problem in Chicago, but you are required to take gym all 4 years of high school.
Wow,
so I had to take swimming every single year. And after the trauma of my freshman year, I then took swimming lessons on the side so that I wouldn't be embarrassed again.
And did you still have to take a different physical education course?
So it was like every year you had to take phys ed, and there was always a swimming unit every single year.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And so you copped out of them the sophomore through senior year.
No, I had to swim sophomore, junior, senior year, but I took swimming lessons on the side.
So you got better at it.
I got better at it, so I didn't have to be in the lame kid.
This might be happening. The robot voice might be happening right now. It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse where he said the magic word. Ah! If you heard the if you heard the robot voice, Instagram comment Peter_Murphy at the exact time. We're giving away tote bags and stickers. Can you hear me?
I'll be back. Do I sound like the Terminator?
Yeah, but a very nice, Terminator 2. You sound like you could save me. Fantastic. I'm so sorry to derail you. I just had to. I was so I didn't know what it would sound like, but I'm so glad we went on that journey together. So
it would be kind of disappointing if I didn't have it, right?
Exactly. We teased it up top. Chekhov's robot voice. Yeah. That is incredible. I was just thinking the other day that, we've been in quarantine for like 12 months at this point, and my gym teacher would probably be disappointed in me. My physical education teacher would be disappointed in me because, like, looking at my body now, I feel like I have the antibody. Like, not necessarily the vaccine antibodies, but as far as bodies go, my body is the antibody. So Mr. Jennings was my gym teacher, and I just have to apologize to him. But you had to take, what?
Your gym teacher's name is Mr. Jennings?
Mr. Jennings. That was one of the 3 gym teachers I had in middle school.
My last name is Jennings.
It is! Bingo!
Wow!
His magic word is Jennings. It really was. It was Mr. Jennings, and then one guy was named Mr. Greg, He preferred his first name. And then I forget her name, my third gym teacher. She mostly, was assigned to the women or the girls in the middle school class. But anyhow, you had to take it for 3 years. That is, 4 years in high school, swimming. And you were dedicated to getting better at it.
Yes. I just it's the losers that had to, if you were bad, you had to swim in the shallow end and you were a loser. And I just was already so much of a loser in high school that I was I have to be good at one thing, which is swimming. It's if I can't be good at, socializing or going to parties, at least I can be good at freestyle. So
you got the swimming tutoring. That's amazing. That is dedication. That's serious. That's a real deal. Okay. Hughes, I heard that he would not shut down a high school, but he would be filming in the summer. And this is such a genius idea to use classrooms as different departments. Like art department was in a certain classroom. And then, VFX was in a different classroom. And then everyone could just coordinate as if the school was running. Do you know what high school that was? Was that your high school?
That was my high school. Yeah.
Whoa, that is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you guys had a great film program, or was there anything any mementos that he had left behind, or no?
I know you would think that there would be, but no, the only memento or hint that John Hughes was involved in our town is anytime before summer break or before winter break, we would, and this was almost through all my grades, you would have a movie day where it would be you've turned in all your projects, we're just going to watch a movie. And the movie was always Ferris Bueller's Day Off because it takes place in Winnetka. And so we always watch that movie. Yeah, they filmed part of Ferris Bueller's Day Off in Winnetka. They filmed part of 16 Candles in Winnetka. They filmed part of The Breakfast Club in Winnetka.
Wow.
All of those John Hughes.
Do you guys have that library, that big library that's in, I can't think of the movie right now.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club, yeah. Is that your library?
No, unfortunately not. Well,
what a great library.
Part of that library is part of our library, but the big cool part that everybody knows wasn't our library. I know.
Dang. But still, awesome, cool stuff you had on there. Matthew Broderick probably, signed, probably put his name in a textbook or something in the library, or maybe maybe ran over some random Irish person. I don't know. Google it. Google it. I'm coming for you, Broderick. All right. Well, fantastic. That's an incredible fact about your hometown. In Fort Myers, the town just across the bridge from my hometown, I believe they shot the Day of the Walking Dead.
Oh my gosh.
And there's for as many years as as that film's been out, there's been a zombie, conference or something. There's an event that happens there, which is kind of neat. But
wow.
I would much rather be from John Hughes Ville than Zombie Town, aka Florida, aka bath salt capital. All right, well we're nearing the end of the podcast, and Allie, this has been great. Let's not blow it now. One last thing, one good thing. This is our final segment. Now, if someone finds themselves in Winnetka, we already know, check out John Hughes High School. Go check out both pools at the high school. If someone were dropped in Winnetka, what's some survival tips that they should have, and what do they need to check out in Winnetka, Illinois?
Yeah. Survival tips. Get a membership to a country club. If you don't, you will be an outcast, like my family was.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think the name of the country club that everyone belonged to was called Indian Hill.
Ooh,
yikes.
That's much better than the country club that my family, or that was next to my house, which was you know what? I better not even say.
Don't join country clubs, guys. They're overrated and overpriced.
Don't trust country clubs. You know what? If you come and see my stand-up comedy shows, I'll be a little more X-rated. But for now, for the podcast, let's forget it. Country clubs, a survival tip. Is that where most of the interacting is going on as far as like adults?
Yeah. There's a lot of pools, tennis courts, luncheons where you have to, wear collared shirts and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot. That's where like a lot of the like deals go down. I feel like I don't know what the deals are, but they're going down there at the country club.
The people that control the town control it from the country club.
That's where all the puppet masters are pulling the strings. And then if I would tell somebody to go to any place, oh gosh, you know where I would say? There's an ice cream store called Homer's.
Oh, that sounds cute.
Oh, it's so freaking cute. They make their own homemade ice cream. And in the summer, they make peach ice cream. And in the winter, they make peppermint ice cream. And I used to drink a lot of milkshakes there. Very, very fun.
Oh my gosh, Homer's. And how long has that place been around? As long as you can remember?
So long. Ancient. Oh. It's ancient. As ancient as Mr. Burgess.
Isn't it? It's Mr. Burgess, yeah. In fact, on a rare occasion, you'll find old Burgess saddling up to a peach ice cream cone on a hot summer day. Isn't it interesting that I have to say, let me know if this is true for you. You mentioned ice cream places. Something about hometowns and like places that aren't a big city, Philadelphia, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, whatever, or Chicago. Something about those small towns that everybody remembers the ice cream place. Doesn't matter what generation you came from. It's like, there's an ice cream place that I remember. There's an ice cream place. And for me, there's also a shoe place. Because growing up, I remember people, this is a different America, I think, but people could be a shoe salesman and make enough to own a house. And that was their only job. Side hustles did not exist then. We're talking like 90s, late 80s, 90s. Was that the same for you? Like, do you have a lot of memories at the ice cream place, or like, do you remember getting, your first, your pair of shoes for the school year or anything like that?
Yeah, there was a bookstore called the Bookstall where it's like you would go. Oh man, they just like, I'm sure it's out of business now. Thanks, Amazon.
Don't say that. It's I'm sure it's
gosh,
still around.
I hope it's still around. There were places like that, the Bookstall, and then there was the Depot, which was this like little diner, and it was called the Depot because on the top of the restaurant was a small train that would go around the tracks. And
inside, and
you would watch the little train go on its tracks on the ceiling, and because you were in the Depot, and so
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was cute as fuck. Sorry, are we allowed to swear?
No. Yeah, of course you can. Did you guys have a mall, or did you have like a freestanding shoe place? Because we had this place called Snyderman's, and it was its own place, and these two brothers, the Snydermans, owned it, and they I swear to God, they must have, put shoes on like thousands and thousands of people, and they were just the nicest, coolest dudes around. Did you have like a place like that, or was it like more like a Foot Action mall situation?
We had a place called the Laundry, and the Laundry was like
coin operated.
You wash your clothes there. No,
yeah,
it's
I've heard of it. Yeah.
And there were just like a bunch of like little tiny boutique stores in the Laundry, and it was like this kind of like beautiful brick building. And they had a Caribou coffee, which I don't know if they have Caribous here, but they have them in the. Oh my gosh, it's like a Midwest Starbucks.
Oh, okay. That's the name of the franchise?
Yeah, it is. It's a franchise store, but it's a really big deal because franchises weren't allowed in my town.
No kidding.
They tried to keep franchises out. And the only ones that I remember that got in were Caribou Coffee and McDonald's. But they were very particular about McDonald's, and they said no archways. So they couldn't be any signs outside of the McDonald's letting people know it was a McDonald's. You just had to know that in this cute little store is a McDonald's.
Wow. I will venture a guess to say that that is the only McDonald's without the golden arches in the world. It's got to be, right?
Probably, but maybe. But it was like a very like special, like it was like a big deal. And I remember in that McDonald's, there were like stained glass windows and stuff and beautiful stonework.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's weird.
That is incredible. That's amazing. Wow, what a fun McDonald's. My McDonald's growing up, it had a play place, you know, the ball pit where, you know, a kid lost his diaper. That sort of stuff happened. You'd find a diaper in the ball pit. You find, you know, some stuff you didn't want to find on the slide. One year, my birthday is December 20th. And one year my mom thought, oh, we should have Peter's birthday on his birth date and have it at McDonald's. And I invited everyone in my class. There was like 35 kids. And, you know, it was a McDonald's play place. So, you know, on top of the jungle gym setup and all that stuff, there were all the characters that you could sit on that were the seats, like the Grimace seat or like the Fry Guy seat, Ronald McDonald seat. And one kid showed up to my birthday. This is so close to Christmas that I don't remember a single thing from that party except trying to comfort my mom because she felt so bad and she was trying to play it off like it didn't bother her. And I was like, Mom, it's fine. Thank you so much. But one kid showed up. His name was Adam. He was the sweetest dude. And then, I think he moved away the next year. But my goodness,
gosh, that's so sweet that you're trying to comfort your poor mother who's so sad and devastated. She's like, my gosh, Peter's gonna be traumatized by this.
And I am. I continue to be. I blame her. But you know what? That's like we talked about before we started the episode. That's for a therapist to dissect. Allie Jennings from Winnetka, Illinois. Allie, thank you so much for joining the program. This has been so fun.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to check out the next RomCom on your RomCom podcast. And this has been great. I can't wait to visit Winnetka, Illinois.
Yeah. Let me know if you do.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, I feel like I've already been there. Well, Floridians, thanks for listening. I'll talk to you next time.